in Louisville, Kentucky at the Mid-America Trucking Show 2026. Let's go check out what's going on. We're gonna have vendors, sponsors, charities, all sorts of stuff. Truck show, DAT is here, LoadHunter is even here. They sent a guy from Louisville. So let's go inside, check it out. Let's get everything recorded on video for you guys today. All right, I'm here with D. Croke. Obviously, you're with DAT right now, right? You got this beautiful truck, Grumpy Pete. Definitely wanted to come out here and do an interview with you. I've been watching your videos. I get a lot of inspiration from because I do market updates as you. Not as in depth, because you really get into it. You want to kind of tell us like your backstory, how you got involved with DAT?
Originally, I was working with Freightwaves. Okay. So I was at Freightwaves for 5 years, and part of the connection with Freightwaves and DAT was that we had a futures contract.
Okay.
And it was being indexed against the DAT rate index for dry vans. So that's how I met the folks at DAT. So when I left Freightwaves, DAT offered me a position to do pretty much the same thing I did at Freightwaves, which was market analytics, which I like to tell people. I tell stories with data. It's kind of what we do at DAT. So I'm a market analyst, but I focus on the carrier side of our business more than the shipper and the broker side.
So before we jump more into that, before I jump into your history, I kind of want to ask the question is like say Freightwaves, right, where they have their sonar. In my opinion, sonar is obviously a super expensive feature, but looking at the DAT market conditions, man, every time I compared it to, they're very similar numbers.
Yeah, they're both proxies for supply and demand, in different ways. They're looking at different things. Our data's looking at the spot market, primarily, and we're looking at really useful metrics like how many trucks post their trucks on our load board, which is a really good indicator of where capacity's at. And then load posts are a proxy for how hard it is to find trucks. I find it fascinating that we see broker load posts surging every time there's shortage of trucks, bad weather, Valentine's Day in Miami. It's such a reliable indicator. And historically, though, it's proven to be very accurate over, the last probably 5 or 6 years as an indicator of where supply and demand is going. And no one data point's conclusive on its own, right? Everyone knows that. I say to people that we've got a lot of data points, Freightwaves have got a lot of data points, research has got a lot of data points. We look at all the data points, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Each piece on its own doesn't tell you everything. When you put it all together, you get a picture. And the key to being a good market analyst is having lots of pieces of the puzzle so you get a really good picture of where the market's at. We try not to get too far over our skis, to use a boarding analogy, and make wild predictions. But our history of data goes back many, many years and millions of dollars. Rates and rate view is a good starting point. I don't say to people the rate is be all and end all. It's like a starting point. Whether you're bidding on a load, you're trying to get capacity, or a truck's trying to find a load and working with a broker. It's a reliable starting point where you start your negotiations.
Well, now I think it's more important than ever because with the spot market obviously surging, rejection rates, flatbeds are insane, dry vans are crazy. I mean, people using the market conditions, man. Even though I tell them just because the market's red doesn't mean go to the market, right? Check it out, search the MCI day before, see what the loads were posted. And even if you need to, maybe just if you want to book a load, say from like Columbus, Ohio to like Atlanta, Georgia, search the load, whatever day you plan on delivering in Georgia, and see what kind of loads are out there, see if the rates you like.
Well, I published the 8-day forecast on MCI. I think it's a really good indicator of where capacity is going to be because it takes into fact some seasonal factors. So with the MCI, the overposting, and it's looking at unique load posts and equipment posts. So it's a really good indicator of regionally because you can pull out MCI to a state or a region or a market. It's a really good way to get a feel for where the market's heading. It gets another piece in the puzzle.
Now, a lot of question is for example, for the duplicate loads, right? I know like a lot of times you guys try to filter them out, but then you got brokers like TQL or certain brokers, they'll change like the city a little bit. So obviously they're not 100%, but even though it's not 100%, I think it's still a great tool to use.
So you're right, because we looked at load to truck ratio with and without overposting, and it's still a reliable indicator because overposting is a market behavior. Like you can't discount it and say, just because that same load was posted 5 times. Well, it was posted 5 times because we're finding it hard to get trucks. Overposting is actually a really good indicator of how hard it is with finding trucks in a market. So I think I've looked at it both ways. Whether you have unique load posts or overposting, you actually they're both signals. And that's what you're looking for. What's the signal telling us? And load posts. So look, you look at flatbed load posts now, they're in the 70s to 80 range per truck. Now, there's not 80 loads per truck, like literally. But when you look at the index going up on the market, it's getting back where we were in 2018. Like we're getting close to when flatbed was having its biggest bull run, probably in the last decade.
You're making a pretty good comeback right now, I see, right? They just beat the reefers back off at the national average.
I just published it this morning, 9 10 cents a mile this week in flatbed.
Oh, they went over $3 already? So,
Yeah, very close.
Yeah,
very close with fuel.
Yeah.
Reefer went up 6 cents, flatbed went up 2. What's interesting this week is line haul rates are actually starting to creep back up again, which means carriers are starting to get a little bit more of the fuel surcharge into their rate, because they've only been getting about half of it.
Yeah, brokers usually use it as a cushion.
Well, the line haul rates have been dropping as diesel went up, and now they flattened out the week before. This week they're starting to go up again, which tells us carriers have reached that lag when diesel surges to when their rates catch. So, and it's usually a 3 to 4 week period.
Man, I can talk about this with you for hours. You like doing kind of short videos. I definitely want to do a podcast with you one day if you don't mind.
That.
Just a little bit, kind of jumping on your history. From my understanding, you're an owner-operator in Australia, right?
I did 2.5 million miles in Australia, driving trucks, owning trucks, managing fleets. Grew up on a farm with a cattle haulage business, growing potatoes and baling hay. So I was driving trucks when I was a 5-year-old. So I've been in trucking all my life. And we moved here 25 years ago. I had to get out of trucking in Australia. I lost a couple of drivers and I decided to get out of trucking. Moved here, met a Harvard professor by chance at a conference, and he said, would you come to America and run my consulting business? And that was 25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
In Australia, you can't get Peterbilt, so I always had a dream to buy a Peterbilt, even though my uncle had a 359.
Got one right behind us.
Yeah,
Right.
I always wanted a 359 dash in a 379 Peterbilt, which is what I ended up doing about 20 years ago.
And then you got into consulting, and after that, just stayed in
So
trucking.
trucking is part-time for me. I do a little bit of driving for friends occasionally, but I do drive this truck-to-truck shows. So I do about probably 7,000 or 8,000 miles in a year, which is not a lot, but it's enough to know what the road feels like. For me, it's just fun, but through the social media work, podcasts, discussions like this, get the message out about trucking industry. You and I, it's been a great industry.
Well, up and down for me, but
Yeah.
sometimes you're doing really good.
But it's always something to do in this industry. Like it's never the same. That's the part I love, because I think we all thrive on volatility. Being able to find that seam in the market where you can make it work is the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, that's the best thing that happened to me. Might not be rich yet, but at least I'm living comfortably.
Yeah.
I made a future career for myself, so definitely love trucking.
Well, that's what I mean. It doesn't matter what part of trucking you're in, whether it's logistics or anything, you can make a living.
Yeah,
Whether it be driving or managing or risk management work, valuable industry.
Yeah, especially even if you don't, if you got a high school education, not even if you're good and you jump in, you do sales, broker. I mean, there's so many jobs where you could actually make really good money in trucking. Let's talk about your truck a little bit, man. It's beautiful. You want to tell us a little bit about
It's a 379 Peterbilt, 2003 model. I deliberately bought it because it's got a 6NZ pre-emission Caterpillar, so I wanted that reliable. Because in Australia, I run mostly Caterpillars, so I knew the engine. I didn't want anything with emissions on it, and it's a pretty standard fleet truck. Like if you can see, I used to have the mirrors on the side when it was a Werner fleet truck. So I've turned it into a show truck. We've got a flip bumper, old school headlights, and a big visor. And that's why my boys said, Dad, it looks like a grumpy Peterbilt. And the grumpy Pete stuck because of the way it looks from the front.
It looks beautiful, nice, clean, beautiful. How's the inside? I didn't even get to take a look at it. Very nice. Ooh, wow, very nice.
So this is the 379 cab with a 359 dash. So this is the Corvette dash that goes in. This cab is 12 inches wider than a 359. You can't just take a 359 dash, throw it in a 379. You've actually got to mold to make it fit the wider truck. So what I did was make it look old in a relatively new truck.
So kind of like the opposite of a resto mod.
Yeah. So that's why
very cool.
That's why I went black with silver stainless steel. Everything's black with vertical stainless when you look at it from the side, from a colour perspective. And to me, black and stainless was timeless. Wouldn't date.
Nice.
So that's why
I'm a huge fan of black on black. Huge fan. Yeah, it looks very beautiful.
Yeah. This is original. I just had it ceramic coated. This is original 21-year-old.
Oh wow.
So I'm a big fan of ceramic coating.
Are you even closed up the fifth wheel?
Yeah, custom fifth wheel cover.
We actually just did an interview with a gentleman at the DAT parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
We just stopped him for an interview, and I noticed this. We asked him about it, so we actually, if you want to tell us more about this too, because we're going to try to push this for.
Every December, there's probably about 800 loads of wreaths that get taken from Columbia Falls, Maine, from the Worcester wreath factory, and they get shipped to 800 loads. Will get out about 5,400 locations. So each truck's got maybe a dozen drops on it of wreaths, and they go to cemeteries, funeral homes, all sorts of places. But there are truckers from all over the country that go there every year to get a load of wreaths and take it back to their community and deliver it. And so Wreaths Across America is really about honouring the fallen soldiers that paid the ultimate price in war. And the wreath, we go to Arlington National Cemetery, and we place a wreath through. There's thousands of volunteers, and you place a wreath at the headstone, and you say the person's name. You sort of acknowledge that, and then you put another wreath on another one, you do the same thing. But it's always about showing respect, saying their name, and putting the wreath on. So when you go to Arlington, there could be about 80 trucks parked all around Arlington National Cemetery. Some are fully wrapped in Wreaths Across America banners and logos. A lot of large fleets donate their time. In fact, everyone donates their time, but from a truck perspective, that's a really big investment. For an owner-operator, right? Take 2 weeks out of their schedule.
Fuel,
all that.
Time.
What you don't see is that, somewhere between 15 and 20% of truckers in this country are from military. They have a military connection. So Wreaths Across America is another part of that, where, we sort of respect the military aspect of it, but they're also a big component of people that drive trucks and manage this industry is Army veterans or military veterans.
It sounds about this and about Mission 22. So I definitely want to make it a point in my videos to, point this out and at least get the word out there to more people. So definitely raise awareness to these causes, because I think they're great. Got to take care of your soldiers and
and preserve history. I think it's important. I had dinner with the people from the American Truck Historical Society last night, ATHS, and they have a great truck show every year where you get to see trucks from the 70s and 80s that built our post-deregulation industry, and you get to meet those folks. So history is a very important part of it. I think if you don't understand history, there's a good chance you'll make some mistakes down the road.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it. Beautiful truck.
Thank you.
I definitely need to do a podcast together.